Greetings all. I thought I would try putting out a new series of vids that have come out maybe just every once so often that deals with people in the comics industry and where exactly do they fit within that industry. Is it high up as a legend or icon, or just someone that's just popular, the popular flavor of the month? And I'm going to be talking about a lot of people from different avenues in the comics industry. And I figured I'd go ahead and start off with one of the biggest lightning rods that's in the industry, and that's Todd McFarlane. People as a rule generally tend not to be on the fence with him. You either really like what he does or you really don't like what he does. I'm probably a little bit of an anomaly there, because I'm neither a fan of his nor do I have any special disdain for him. What I will say is that while I'm not crazy about Todd, and I never have been crazy about him as an artist / storyteller, I've had to give him his props as it relates to his being, I guess you would call an entrepreneur. And just to go back, some of the first work that I've seen of Todd's was in DC, and it was one of the Earth 2 titles, maybe Justice Society, or All-Star Squadron, I'm not sure which. And really the only thing about his work back at DC that I thought was even in the slightest bit interesting was that he had a particular flair for drawing capes, which, as many of you know who are Spawn fans, would come to bode well for him in what was at that time would be the future with Spawn and what have you. Then when he made his jump to Marvel, he kind of tightened up on his skills a bit. I still didn't particularly care for how he drew, but there was still something I had to give him. He tended, especially with Marvel, more so than DC. With Marvel, he made two of their premier characters his own, and that's no slight feat there. That's something of some merit. He took the Hulk and essentially, in my opinion, has put himself with other Hulk artists who I believe are the template for every other artist out there that draws the Hulk. Before Todd McFarlane, I think what you had was obviously Jack Kirby, then Jim Steranko, I would say Herb Trimp, and possibly Dale Keown, and if you really want to stretch it, Ed McGuinness. But through all of that, Todd McFarlane was able to make his own Hulk, slightly reminiscent of the Kirby Hulk, but he really made that character his own character, and I can't do nothing but give him props on that. And then later on, when he moved to Spider-Man, To me, there's even fewer template artists for that character. I think prior to Todd, what you had was Steve Ditko, John Romita Sr., maybe Gil Kane, perhaps Ross Andrew. And then after that, after all those guys, everybody else is basically drawing Spider-Man like one of those four. And then Todd came along, and once again made the character, made the archetype his own. And once again, I think you had to kind of give it up to him for being able to do that. Then he finally jumped ship and followed his own vision, along with 6 other guys, being Liefeld, Lee, Portacio, Larson, Valentino, and Silvestri, and has stayed true to himself. A lot of these other guys, maybe not Valentino so much, and perhaps not Larson, but just about everybody else, they've vacillated between starting their own branches of their own companies, or decided to do work again for the major two. And you didn't really see that with McFarlane. McFarlane basically, unless he was teaming with one of the big companies, to put Spawn in, with Daredevil or Batman or whomever, Todd basically stayed true to his vision. And I don't know what else to say about that, other than giving him the utmost respect for being true to comics as he sees them. Now, as a artist, I've never cared for Todd. His Spawn seems like one long, arduous, continuous story with very few beats in it. The concept itself may go through a series of different looks. It may look superheroish at some point. It may look more supernatural at some point. It may look more noir at some point, but it always seems like it's the same story. The only difference now, of course, is that there's somebody else that's housing the Spawn essence. With that said, for Todd to be essentially an independent, to put out over 200 issues of the same character, you got to give him his props on that too, whether you like his work or dislike it. As far as stuff that I've liked by Todd, I have the first issue of Spawn. I don't particularly like it, but I have that first issue. It's one of the few first issues that I was able to, to keep a hold of, so to speak. And I have quite a few of the landmark issues, like 100, 150, stuff like that. But in terms of liking anything he's done as it relates to Spawn, there's probably 3 or 4 comics that kind of stand out to me. Geekvolution mentioned one that dealt with Spawn tackling an abusive father. I thought that was an excellent issue. The one where Spawn is being hanged from a tree and addressing the Klan, I thought that was an excellent issue. And I don't know, the piece of resistance, the ultimate, I thought, was when Cerebus guest starred in the Spawn comic, and you had like a couple dozen cameos that Todd could never say they were who they were, but you could clearly see, more than any of them, you could clearly see Superman, but also, if you were looking, you could see Batman, I think the Kyle Rayner Green Lantern, if I'm not mistaken. It might have been Hal Jordan, I don't remember right now. Captain Marvel, DC's Captain Marvel, the Hulk, Wolverine, and a whole batch of others. So there has been pearls amongst all the sea depths you have to search, to find the ones that you like, if you're like me. But they are out there. So in terms of Todd's standing within the comics community, my objections aside, there's pretty much to me nothing anyone can say other than this guy is an icon. One can arguably say a legend. And to me, you just got to give the guy the props he deserves. And that's basically my take on Todd McFarlane. So until next time, night out.